A gray, dilapidated city. The protagonist, a short-haired handsome fellow with purple eyes, exhaled irritably as he walked the streets of the shabby city. He had come this far only to find his target in the outskirts of Anyang already dead, mauled by six-headed demon-like dogs. Monster 435 is glaring at you. Monster 22115 is glaring at you. Monster 222 is glaring at you. Can I really not do anything about that shitty naming sense? Says the protagonist. A wild howl, and with a scream of rage the monster dogs rushed at the protagonist, who, however, without even blinking, drew his blade. You have activated addition. You have activated multiplication. With one blow the protagonist blows the heads off the monsters. Time passes. The main character stands near a high wall, from behind which the sun can barely be seen. Hey, open up, says the protagonist. The gate opens and he is greeted by hard mode player, GM Jungjun. Hyung, you came back. GM Jungjun asks. Standing by the gate, Hyung replies that he almost died of annoyance and let GM send someone else to do the job now. But after all, no one but you can do it. What about the guy who ran away? Said GM. Died. His body was eaten by monsters. Hyung replies. What? But that punk was a hard mode player. Already, says GM. Closing his eyes and waving his hand, Hyung tells him that there were already 3 orang monsters chewing merrily on the body. Wow, orang monsters? GM wondered. His face darkened at the introduction of the 3 monster dogs. Then he explained, hard mode players are strong. One rank monster can match a hard mode player. He decided that the situation was serious, since there were 3 monsters and they needed to deal with it quickly. Asking Hyung the location of the 3, he got the answer that he had already dealt with them. Ah, I see. I'm hungry, so let's go to the cafeteria. Ah, Hyung. Just tell me honestly, are you actually not an easy mode player? Hyung put his hands in his pockets and looked at him sideways. Hyung was an easy mode player, and his name was Kang Taesan. Waving his hand and closing his eyes, the protagonist replies, what bullshit are you saying? There are tons of people who've broken through the labyrinth with me, you can ask them. GM says that all easy mode players except the protagonist are dead, and those who occasionally, from time to time, appear, die within a couple of days. The main character is not particularly embarrassed by this. How does an easy mode player survive here? Even normal mode players are in an iffy situation, so it's you who's the weird one, Hyung. GM is puzzled how Hyung can be so strong, because even he, the hard mode player, can't match him. The protagonist stares thoughtfully. It's because you guys cleared it too haphazardly. Again, there you go again with that. The 2 guys leave, but no one suspects what lurks in the protagonist's shadow. They come to the cafeteria, which looks more like an ordinary tent. What? Potatoes again? Can't you distribute something else? Says the main character, squatting and staring at huge potatoes the size of a man's head. What can we do about potatoes being the most cost-efficient? Even with simple cultivation, there's a limit to how much we can distribute. The interlocutor replies as if nothing had happened. Hyung, did you not learn the simple cultivation skill? Would an easy mode player learn something like that? No matter where we went, there's food everywhere. I guess that's true. There was a loud male voice outside. Stop joking around. There's no way that's true. It seems another one who cleared it is here. It seems so. This time around, I quote, I'm sure he'll be apprehended after making a fuss and slowly given an explanation, commented the protagonist and his friend. That punk seems like a hard mode player. You may need to step up, Hyung. Another voice from outside, Taesan. Come help quickly, this is chaos. Our protagonist was running out of patience. Voices outside, don't lie to me. This can't be planet Earth. After the last ride, it was supposed to be over. What is this, a prank? Don't try to bullshit me. The source of the shouts was a young man who looked like a knight, with a sword behind his back. What about Lee Taeyeon? The protagonist came out of the tent. He was answered, currently out on a reconnaissance mission. Then an elderly man in armor approached the knight with a sword and explained that while he was in the labyrinth, the world had changed greatly. The knight would not listen to the explanation and struck the older man with his fist in a rage. Leaving the half-eaten potatoes for his friend, our protagonist approached the young knight. Unfortunately, this is NPPRTE. Mankind is currently on the brink of extinction. Don't mess with me. There's no way this is Earth. Do you know how many players there are? How could they not stop a few monsters? Stop lying. The protagonist stares at him in silence. Most players who return to Earth from the labyrinth can't accept the reality of the situation. This happens often, and it is not easy to accept. The protagonist exhales heavily. Then, there's only one method left. Guess I have to beat the shit out of you to get you to accept reality. What's your name? Battle request. Lee Changchoom. A battle. Who are you? Replies the knight. Kang Taesan. Kang Taesan. That fucker who spammed the community board respite being a mere easy mode player, says the knight contemptuously. How laughable. An easy mode player dares to face a hard mode player. Don't you know that the difference in strength between players of different difficulty is like heaven and hell? Shut up and fight. If you win, I'll show you the real world that you want to see so badly. The knight was very angry at this retort. He drew his sword and his eyes shone with fiery anger. Don't regret this. I won't care if you die after getting hit. The knight uses skills. Augmentation activated. Half of base attack is added to current attack. Focus activated. Your attacks have an increased chance of striking. Power strike activated. Your next attack has greatly increased damage. The crowd gathered around cheering. This knight is pretty strong. Flash. The knight rushes at Kang Taesan. Explosion. Kang Taesan's complete nullification of first strike activated. 0 damage to Kang Taesan. The knight is puzzled. Kang grabbed his sword with 3 fingers and looks down at him bored. My attack didn't work. What do they mean by nullification of first strike? I've never heard of something like that. Now my move. Kang's fist lights up with blue tongues of flame and he delivers a punch to the solar plexus. Li Changchon sturdy activated. Received damage is halved. Kang Taesan's ultimate judgment. Ignores opponent's defense skills and defense. 49 damage to Li Changchun. A mere 49 damage. That's right. He can't close the overwhelming stat difference between easy mode and hard mode. Your health is over I0, right. Addition activated. Current attack is doubled. Multiplication activated. Current attack is squared. Ultimate judgment activated. Ignores opponent's defense skills and defense. Kang swings again, his gaze cold and glowing purple. He strikes and literally knocks his opponent into the ground. Sparks of energy fly in all directions. 9604 damage to Li Changchun. Do you finally understand? This is actually Earth. Kneeling on his knees, the battered knight begins to cry. Stop messing with me. Why is the world like this? If things were going to become like this, it would have been better if I didn't clear the labyrinth. Next we are told a little backstory. When the world was still peaceful, suddenly one day the sky split apart and monsters spilled out. A bunch of different monsters marching through the burning city, many of them resembling dragons. And humans were given a final choice. EAGY mode, normal mode, hero mode, solo mode. The players who entered the labyrinth after making their choice in difficulty could only return to Earth after clearing the labyrinth. Back to the Earth on the verge of ruin due to being overwhelmed by monsters. Kang shakes off his hands and says, "What else can we do? We have to try and save this current world." After that, GM joyfully runs up to the main character with a potato and waves his hand to congratulate him on his victory. People around in a real astonishment do not understand how it was possible to beat a hard mode player with only one blow. What's so special about beating a weakling like that? He's not weak, you're just too strong, Hyung. My potato's all cold now. This is why I didn't want to step in. But really, how did you get that multiplication skill? Ultimate judgment? Ignore defense. I can't believe those kinds of skills exist. And what sort of cheat-like skill nullifies the first attack? And there are skills that only you have, Hyung. Just how did you get them? Hard work. As they walked down the street they heard shouts. Huh? Did another player arrive? So many of them today. Doesn't look like it. Past the jewel boxes and surrounded on either side by a cheering crowd, a beautiful girl with long hair, wearing white robes and thigh-high boots, walked. Looks like Li Tion came back. Time passes. Kang stands in the museum-like hall and looks up at the skeleton creature, worrying about decorations even while humanity is becoming extinct. Even as monsters litter the outside, there's one person who could bring a giant picture like this with her without a single scratch. The lone human who cleared solo mode, Kang says and strokes the frame of a painting reminiscent of the Last Supper of Leonardo. Just why is a woman like you the strongest person in the world, Li Tion? Kang says, turning to the beautiful girl in the expensive armchair with her legs behind her. Being fixated on something is vital in situations like ours. Why don't you try getting a hobby like I did? Tell me about that when we actually have time to talk about it. Why did you call me here? I heard you taught a lesson to that hard mode bra T. An easy mode player schooling a hard mode player. No matter how many times I hear it, it's weird. A girl gets up and asks Kang to show his status window. Do you have something against easy mode players? Kang shows the panel. Kang Taesanlevel, 57 HP, 1021. MP 820. Strength 105. Intelligence 100. Agility 98. Attack plus 49. Defense plus 58. Currently in peak condition. The girl puts her palm to her mouth and says, disgustingly weak, as expected. But you know, these stats are pretty good for an easy mode player. The Labyrinth is divided into 4 difficulties. As soon as a player clears a Labyrinth, all of their growth is halted, leading to a stark difference in strength between difficulties. A hard mode player's stats are easily 10 times Teeson's, but none of them could even endure one blow from him. The reason is the skills Teeson wields. Skills can be earned regardless of difficulty. The girl asks the protagonist to stand still. Purple tongues of energy light up around her. Lee Tion activated augmentation. Half of base attack is added to current attack. Lee Tion activated addition. Current attack is doubled. Lee Tion activated perfect aim. Next attack is guaranteed to hit. The girl rushes at the protagonist, but the hit only hits the wall behind him. Kang Taesan's complete nullification of the first attack is activated. Kang Taesan to 0 Kenyan shillings Diamaji. Why'd you do that? I just wanted to. Complete attack nullification, absolute judgment, exponential attack, simple time stop. What ludicrous skills. You have 200 skills, right? Around 230. You said they were skills you obtained while playing strategically through the tower, right? We should have explored it properly like you did. We should have tried to become as strong as we could have, instead of focusing solely on clearing the Labyrinth. It's all in the past now. You're unbelievable. If you played solo, you'd win. The girl sat back in the luxurious chair. Taesan's skills are strong, but most of them use stats as their base. In other words, the current Teeson couldn't use even half of his skills. Why don't we stop talking about this and get to the point? You're back from patrol, right? Yes, and a new wave is about to begin. During the wave, the monsters attack en masse. Every time it happens, a lot of people die and the area is deserted. Humanity lost soul during the first wave. Half of all hard mod players lost their lives during the second wave, and we could only protect small town during the third wave, and now the fourth wave is about to start. How many will there be? 2 S ranks, several dozen A ranks, several hundred B ranks. In an apostle, 2 S ranks, which even Lee Tion has trouble beating, and we're short on hard mode players who can handle A rank monsters. Not to mention an apostle, which is stronger than an S rank. Is defeat inevitable? But we must at least try. Taesan, fight the 2 S ranks. Are you asking me to die? I need to fight the apostle, and you are the only one here who can fight the S ranks. You know that. Kang turned toward the door, grabbed the doorknob, and got ready to leave. Are you going to tell the others? They should have a chance to prepare themselves emotionally for the battle. Or would you prefer that they die in ignorance? Maybe that would be a happier option. I don't think so. Kang slammed the door and left. Taesan, you're strong. If it's you, you could lead us to victory. But you see, I'm a coward. The crystal in the girl's hand shone meaningfully. Kang and GM are sitting on the wall of the city discussing the new wave. Below are crying people annoyed by the news. They are looking at the knight Kang had to fight recently. Poor guy, now that I think about it. He must have gone rough, so much suffering to clear the Labyrinth, only to be told that he has to wait for death on the same day that he got to see the real world again. What an unlucky existence he has. There's a huge storm of red lightning in the sky. How do you feel, Hyun? To be honest, I thought you'd be the angriest one here. Humanity probably wouldn't have died off if we did half of what you did. In the middle of the ruined city, a rift appears behind the walls, from which hordes of vicious monsters run out. Man, that's nuts. What did you say you were going to have to fight, Hyun? 2 S ranks. See you in the afterlife. You're probably the one going there first. Can you wait for me? Sure. Kang braced himself. Purple flames glowed beneath his feet. A large leap activated and he jumped high into the sky. Complete surveillance activated. Looking at the radar display, he finds 2 monsters he must fight. With tremendous force he lands down. You have witnessed horrific beings with your own eyes. Excited to see me? Running mental instability check. Running confusion check. Running fear check. Running instant death check. All cheeks cleared. You have endured using iron will. Your mental state will never collapse. A small sword materialized in his hand. Your body develops an unyielding physique. Die, brats. Kang looks at the monsters. I hope none of these guys are the defensive type. You have activated complete surveillance. Monster 7. Defensive type. HP 148,551,233. The monster jumps at the protagonist, but he manages to jump away. 148 million health. What a joke. It's gonna take forever to kill. You have activated buoy time acceleration. What about the second one? Monster 5. Line range attacking type. HP 1. 255. 212. 1. 2 million. That's possible, I guess. Kang quickly runs through this monster, dealing ferocious blows. 42 damage to Monster 5. 38 damage to Monster 5. 32 damage to Monster 5. Damn, damage is reduced when attacking the tentacles, so we should aim for the head. But then the octopus-like monster puts its tentacles together and fires an emerald beam of energy. Your complete nullification of first attack has activated. 0 damage to yourself. Looks like the attack shoots in whatever direction the tentacles are aiming. There's no delay, and it's almost impossible to dodge after seeing it. Then all that's left to do is anticipate their trajectory. Kang masterfully dodges the rays. You have activated acceleration. He flies his sword straight into the monster's carcass. 48 damage to Monster 5. Monster fires again. Your complete nullification second attack has activated. 0 damage to yourself. He swings his sword and jumps on top of the monster, but suddenly the second monster activates and starts defending him. The defensive type monster protects the long-range attacker when it's in danger. That's probably why they were put together at the start. Our hero grinned and said, okay, if that's the case. He jumps on Monster 7. You have forcibly initiated a battle. A yellowish sphere appears, which shields the monster and Kang from the rest of the world. For 1 minute, only Monster 7 can damage you. This'd be easy if Lee Tion were here, since she has legendary gear and stats from Clearing solo mode. You have activated addition. Current attack is doubled. You have activated multiplication. Current attack is squared. You have activated absolute judgment. Opponent's defensive skills are ignored. The energy is concentrated in his sword. The defensive type can't damage Lee Tion, so she'd take care of The long RNG attacker first, then slowly kill the defensive one. But I can't do that. It doesn't matter if the monster is a defensive or offensive type. With these stats, one blow will finish me off. 9604. That's still not enough. You have activated Reset Designated Skill. This skill cannot be activated again for a month. You have Reset Multiplication. You have activated Multiplication. Current attack is squared. So let's get rid of the guy with a ton of health via RSD. The only thing I can rely on is my skills. 9604 squared still isn't enough to reach 100 million. So I need to reach my limit. You have activated Copy. The next attack will hit twice. Kang Taesan jumps on the monster and stabs it in the belly. 92,236,816 damage to Monster 7. 92,236,816 damage to Monster 7. Monster 7 has fallen. 22,543 damage to himself. Meanwhile, the second monster is about to attack because the barrier has already fallen. You have activated Endure. Fatal attack nullified. All damage for 5 seconds is reduced to 0. All of my attack nullifications have been spent and I only have 1 Endure skill. Kang strikes the monster. 48 damage to Monster 5. From now on, it's a simple fight, dodge, attack, repeat. It was easier said than done. The hero looked at his MP supply and it didn't make him happy. MP 21,820th. I have no more skills left. 2 million HP needs to be shaved down with nothing but regular attacks. Put simply, I need to hit this monster 25,000 times. Kang grinned. I'm gonna lose it. The fighting continues in the city, the days turn to nights, and the sky sparkles with flashes and lights. The monster's HP is slowly dwindling. There are only 120,000 left. Kang lets out a scream of rage. You are in a state of complete concentration. Your body and mind are one. A miraculous power has been imprinted onto your soul. You have obtained the soul skill. As you have escaped the labyrinth, you were unable to obtain the skill. Has been sealed. The monster let out a long groan as it sprawled on the ground. 48 damage to Monster 5. Monster 5 has fallen. Goods of all dimensions cannot hollow in their astonishment at your feet. How long did I fight? It feels like it's been more than a month. Damn stats. All shattered and maimed, the protagonist wanders back. There are hundreds of corpses of monster-killed fighters in the streets of the city. You guys went on and on about being the few remaining hard mode players left in this world. So why am I, an easy mode player, the only one left? Why'd I come back from my victory to see that you all had died off? Kang looks at the corpses of people he knew, in particular the corpse of Jam Jungjun. Then, turning his gaze away from his dead friend, he led Lee Taeyeon away from the wall. Remembering her smile, he looks at her covered in blood. The soul clear of solo mode difficulty, and the person ranked strongest in the world. And the one who killed her was this apostle. Strange liquid tentacles crawled up to Lee's body and wrapped their arms around her. The figure of the apostle materialized and took shape. You will soon die. Shut up. Get that shit out of here. You have activate aim true. The damage inflicted on the apostle cannot be fixed. Shout. Come at me, you son of a bitch. The apostle stabs Kang with his hand and he drops his sword. So this is how it ends. He falls. Your HP has reached fortitude is activated. Will be forcibly kept alive for 1 minute. Bastards, let me die in peace. I can't feel the lower half of my body. I guess my spine was also severed when it pierced my heart. Fortitude only delays my death. DOES and heal me. I'm about to die any minute now, damn it. The hero bleeds to death lying on the ground. If I hadn't chosen easy mode back then. Hell, even normal mode. No, you useless fucks. You couldn't even build up your OWN strength properly because you were too busy trying to clear the labyrinth. How the hell were you guys so weak even after choosing normal or hard mode? If only you guys did half the work I did. Whatever, it's already in the past, and it was something I chose to do. The hero finally collapsed on his side and his eyes began to close. This is where humanity ends. But suddenly, Kang noticed a glow in the hands of Lee's dead body. That glow was a stone, so she was trying to protect something, too. He crawled toward her with the last of his strength. The apostle turned toward the hero. Stay right there. Have activated last chance. One skill may be used without any restriction. Time stop. Have activated simple time stop. Time within a 100m radius has been stopped for 2 minutes. He crawls up to the rock and examines it. Check. Ouroboros Bezor. A Bezor of the gods that controls the cycle of all life. Can turn back the time of one person once. What? Turn back time? Why did Letion? A huge, dragon-like monster crawls out of a rift in the sky and swoops down on Kang. See you next time, bitch. Kang grabs a stone and uses it to go back in time. He sees his past self. As a child, his parents often released stress on him, blaming him for all his problems and telling him he shouldn't have been born, that he was a useless piece of shit. These insults and the stress he had to endure as a child revealed a weakness in him that led him to choose easy mode. But that's all in the past. Now our hero knows his worth. This time will be different. After that, the protagonist wakes up on the floor of an ordinary room. The room is full of garbage and hasn't been cleaned. Kang looks at the phone screen. The time is 11:02 p.m. 2019. 12:31. The hero remembers that the sunset of the human race began on January 1st, 2020. Without really thinking about it, our hero eats pizza after a long time. All we ate after the apocalypse were potatoes and monster carcasses. Who knew Letion had an item that could turn back time? But why didn't she use it, even until the end? The Letion knew would have run away. Who knows? Kang looks up into the night sky standing on the balcony. It's about to start. Everyone in the world must be counting down the time right now, as we enter the new year, thinking things will work out for the better. Unfortunately, just as the new year strikes the world, a rift appears in the sky and everything turns red. The unsuspecting residents hear strange noises and think it's a performance going on somewhere nearby. The time is 12 a.m. A dragon-like monster crawls out of a rift in the sky. Kang stands on the balcony as if nothing had happened. I was just shocked back then, but, well, I know what it is now. Around B rank, I think. A monster that a hard mode player can fight without any problem. A welcome sign interface appears in the air. Hello, your world is going to be destroyed by invaders. The weapons that you have also carefully crafted are of no use against them. But do not worry, a merciful being who has taken pity on you has decided to give you all a chance. A huge monster burns with flames from his mouth everything alive on the street. You will all be given a choice. Select the one you wish Kios, and enter the labyrinth. Clear it, Ono gain power. An interface with mode selection appears in front of the Kang. Easy mode. Normal mode. Mode. Solo mode. Easy mode. You will be blessed with abundant food and rest areas that exist in each labyrinth. Even ordinary and frail ones can eventually clear this if they put in the effort. Normal mode. Food is lacking, and there are definitely fewer rest areas in labyrinths than easy mode. Although it will be difficult to survive, you will be able to clear this if you do your best and not fall into despair. Hard mode. The difficulty that challenges your limits, food and rest areas are severely lacking. Monsters will throw their lives away just to kill you, and unless you can acquire even a small amount of SAFETY, you will die a horrible death. Solo mode. This is a mode where you are alone. You will not be able to meet anyone else that came from your world. The only things you will be able to see here are beings hostile to you, monsters, and NPCs. In this place that tests your luck, talent, wisdom, and strategy, you will not be able to survive. If value your life, do not choose this difficulty. Solo mode selected. May luck be on your side. Kang appears in some city in the old-fashioned way. After a long time, I returned here once again. An interface with quick messages appears in front of him. There's a post already. I don't know who this is, but he seems to be quick-witted. The community is the only method of conversing with people in other difficulties. As the people at the forefront shared methods and strategies, it was of great help. I can only effectively use the community later, so there's no point using it now. Kang closes the panel and starts walking. What I need to check right now. Kang recalls his conversation with Letion. Tison, how are the NPCs in easy mode? They just repeated their set answers, like NPCs, were yours different? They were. The NPCs in solo mode. how should I put this? They acted with intelligence and were able to move freely. As if they were real people. Kang walks up to the archway and sees the guy flailing around. The gatekeeper NPC that guards the labyrinth entrance. In easy mode, he was just a regular-looking white-haired old man. The gatekeeper looks at him and says, "What the? You're already here? I thought it'd take at least a month." He's stronger than Lee Tion. This is a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper gives off a terrifying aura. Well, congratulations, first of all. I quote MBROKNMAN. The guardian that protects this place, and also your guide. Broken man. The one who failed his attempt becomes the gatekeeper isn't that kind of cool. I'm assuming you heard the gist of it outside. Your world is facing destruction by the invaders. This is the opportunity that the magnanimous transcendent is giving to you people. So needlessly merciful. Just being annihilated would have led to more happiness. He speaks as if he already experienced it. What Lee Tion said was true. The NPCs in solo mode are actually living beings. People who have come from destroyed worlds. BROKNMAN thought to himself, this punk, why is he so calm? If he came from a peaceful world, shouldn't he be freaking out by now? I thought about beating him up and then explaining. But he's not responding. Anyway, it's a maze. Some people call it a tower, but you can call it whatever you want. There are a total of 100 floors, and every 10 floors there are big changes. Of course, the deeper you go, the harder it gets. While in the labyrinth, you have to take care of your own food and water, and you will have to find DNU information to retain on your own. That's it. Is that really all there is to it? Then you want me to explain what's on the first floor, what's on the second floor, and so on. There are people there who sell you things, so go and ask them. With a yawn, the gatekeeper said. Kang once again recalls the dialogue with Lee Taeyeon. That gatekeeper was so annoying, he would beat you up if you complained. I almost died without even going into the labyrinth. Kang thought to himself. Understood. I should just shut up here. The gatekeeper opens the rift and takes out his sword and spear. But I'll at least tell you the basics. Then swings the spear toward Kang Taesan and stops it near his cheek. Kang didn't even blink. The gatekeeper smiled and handed him his inventory. Worn leather armor defense +1 looks like it can block small scratches. Rusted attack +1 looks like I quote I'll break soon. It's copper. Why? You don't like it? No. Gatekeeper hesitated. What is it? No, it's nothing. Take this as well. Worn wrist protector defense +1 has lost its value after being used for a long time. Looks like it could block at least a beast's bite. What's this? I don't think Lee Tion mentioned receiving a protector like this. You'll be receiving a few skills and whatnot, but you can check that yourself. Alright, go in now. Yes, thank you. Good luck. The gatekeeper thought once more. That guy, he was smiling, right, as if he was looking forward to entering the labyrinth. As the gatekeeper, I've met many labyrinth challengers who were called geniuses, but none were able to clear this labyrinth. But that guy just now, he's different. It's not simply talent or skill, but a more foundational power to survive. It'll be good if he lives. Kang looks at the dialogue box. His is the labyrinth created by a great magician long ago. There's a rumor that a wish will be granted whomever can clear it. This is a sealed world. Terrifying beings move around silently. All no living beings die. Everything here exists to oppress. But if you can push through this DER and dark hell, eternal glory awaits you. Kang clasped his eyes and comes out of the tunnel to the half-destroyed pillars. Floor 1. Labyrinth entrance. That die of stabbed live here. The powers here are not that RONG. Shall I start? Main quest start. There are many secrets and hidden areas, and depending on the secrets you find, different rewards will be given when you clear the floor. Floor 1 quest start. Defeat the boss of Floor 1 and pass. Reward, RANDOMSTAT boosting POTIONSECRET reward, unknown. Kang recalls a conversation with Lee Taeyeon. Tison, did you have a shopkeeper in easy mode? Of course, is there a difficulty without them? How were they? Well, he was a simple merchant. Just at the level where I bought potions from him. It's not like that in solo mode. They sell a lot of things. Are you flexing? Look at this. Lee takes off his glove and shows the bracelet, pure black bracelet. An incredibly strong item that decreases damage taken by 50%. They sell something like that at the shop. There was a lot more than that, but I didn't have enough gold, so I couldn't buy them. If you could just buy all the items at the shop, you'd probably get stronger than me. I only half paid attention back then because it didn't concern me, but the situation has changed now. Kang sees the wooden door and walks through it. What the? You're already here. A bearded man smoking a pipe stares menacingly. You have met the Lost King. Hello, hello. Looks like you got some wits. You, what's your name? I am TASAM. Are you the shopkeeper? And if I am, it's just that there's nothing in the shop. Brat, if I wanted to display all my items, the entirety of floor I wouldn't be enough. and I don't have intention of showing my children to you, a shopkeeper who doesn't sell items. Pardon, then why are you here? Do you think I'm here because I want to? I lost my kingdom because of this insanity and am suffering here for nothing. The gray-haired man pounded his fists on the table in anger. Anyways, I don't want to show my children to a brat who doesn't even know anything. I see, but if you can show me what you're made of, that story may change. The man pointed his pipe at a passage in the wall. Go and come back alive, then I will show you my children. So the condition of purchase is survival. Is that all I have to do? You're a weird one. Sorry. Well, I'll do I need to clear the labyrinth for you to show me your wares. No, it's not that. Then, I quote I'll be going. What the hell? Usually, they just get scared and stand there shaking. Why is he so confident? It's as if he can't feel fear or something. How does someone like that exist? Well, it should matter since he won't come back alive, said the gray-haired man and stretched with his eyes closed. A corridor, then a room. The layout of floor 1 is the same as in easy mode. Just looking here, there doesn't seem to be any danger. Kang is walking down the corridor, but suddenly he hears strange noises and a glint of red eyes in the dark. But that's not true. He sees a huge saber-toothed rat near the skull. A big rat appeared. A big rat. The boss monster of floor 5 in easy mode is just a random mob here. The rat gnaws at his leg, red lightning flies around him. You took 10 damage. Big rat. Its defense is low, but due to its incredible speed that's difficult to follow with your eyes, it took a long time for us to defeat it. But for that guy to be just a random mob on floor, I can feel the difference now. Kang strikes, but the rat dodges. It's as fast as I thought. When we fought him in easy mode, the players worked together to chase it here and there until it tired out. But now, on top of being alone, my stats are lower than at that time, so logically speaking, this is an impossible fight. He's looking at his performance. It's so bad that Lee Tion told me she ran away at first. From the start, among the players who passed floor 1 in solo mode, none of them engaged in a fight with the big rat. I get what's going on now. The way rewards are given in the labyrinth is simple. If you accomplish something others couldn't, or accomplish a feat that everyone can respect, then you will be rewarded accordingly. You took 8 damage, and my goal is to become stronger than anyone here. Kang strikes and almost hits the rat, it bounces back twice. If I can't keep with my speed, then I'll just have to predict where it will move. It's also a living and breathing creature. No matter what the creature is, their movements aren't instantaneous. Contracting leg muscles, inflating chest. Now, Kang throws a couple more punches, the rat bounces back. Big rat is intimidated by you. Its ability to think dulls. It'll be difficult for it to realize what's happening with that small brain. Since I'm blocking my ankles against its attacks right now, it'll go for the next easiest target. Since it can't jump that high, it will aim for. Kang's bracelet shines and the rat lunges at him with his mouth. He pierces it. You attacked. Big rat is immobilized. It will take increased damage. 4 damage to big rat. 5 damage to big rat. Kang returns to the bearded man with the pipe, a bag of rat meat in his hands. I've returned. Big rat meat. You can eat it if you must. Then there are the various player messages from the message board. Kang JONHYEDKI. Oh, come on. Don't you think the shopkeeper is kind of a dick? Lee Tion, you too. A shopkeeper should act like a shopkeeper. Seriously, why does he act like this? Why does he keep trying to get the last word while selling his items? I seriously want to stab him with my swirl, but I can't even do that because I'll get beat up. It pisses me off. The gray-haired salesman dropped his pipe at the sight of Kang. You survived. What, did you want me to die? No, no. Big rat meat. Quality, 96% meat of the big rat. You can eat it if you must. Big rat leather. Quality, 95% leather of the big rat. Looks to be fairly warm. You buy items too, right? Since it's a shop. How much can I get for these? You killed one. Not even managed to run away, but kill. Why is so surprised? If I killed one, I killed one. It's real, not to mention of the highest quality. That means he managed to hunt it down perfectly with minimal mess. And all that by a greenhorn who just entered the labyrinth. Fine, since you met my requirements, I'll open the shop up for you. What do you sell? Everything. Just tell me what you want. Then, do you have a tower shield? A tower shield. One of those big ones. Yes, one big enough to be held with 2 hands. Why a shield of all things? I was thinking of just crushing them. Kang pictured crushing a rat with a shiadum. Nas, right answer. Golden door. The gray-haired salesman opens the rift that shines gold and pulls out a shield from there. How's this one? Bulky tower shield. Attack +1. Defense +5. Quite sturdy. Looks to be able to block many attacks. T-His is more than fine. You'd get an item of this quality in easy mode around floor 7. The price is 500 gold. Currently, I have 243 gold. I need twice that. GUES's I'll have to come later. Around 7 big rats should do it. Where are you going? I need more gold. Don't worry about that. I'll give it to you for free. You have around 250 GOLP, right? There's some stuff you can buy with that amount worth your cash. Hold on. The gray-haired salesman pulls more potions and costume jewelry from the rift. His is completely different from what Lee Tion told me. Hold it. Why are you going so far for me? Why are you making a fuss when I'm trying to be nice to you? What? Can't I do you a favor? Just think of this as a simple investment. An investment? So noisy here, pick. These are the items you can currently buy. So do you want to tell me why, then? Most of these are potions. Health recovery potion receivers 50% DFHP, 200 grams. Some that temporarily increase your attack. Some that temporarily increase your speed, etc. These are essential for clearing the labyrinth, but not what I need to use right at this moment. I heard that it's really hard to obtain potions in solo mode, and they were primarily used in the upper floors, not lower. There's no need to buy them right now. In fact, these potions are a type of trap in their own right. I need to buy more important items than that at this moment. Crude bow, accuracy plus 20%. Looks to be somewhat hard to use. 200G. Crude arrows, attack plus 1, are indeed shaped like arrows. 10G. I definitely need a way to attack from a distance. With a bow, an ANNOUING situation can become a walk in the park. How much is the big rat leather worth? At this level of quality, around 10 gold. Then I'll sell that and buy the bow and arrow. The gray-haired trader smiled contentedly, his face saying he was satisfied. Here you go. A serious lie? What's going on? I'm sure of it. Something's changed. You know that your health won't recover in the labyrinth, right? Yes, I do. There's something called the Spring of Life on the east floor where you can recover your health. You can use it an infinite number of times so long as you don't leave said floor. I'll show you its location. I'll mark it on your map. There's a crazy old geezer there, but that shouldn't be a problem for you. Lee Tion was also told about the location of the Spring of Life, but she told me that he insulted her a bunch while doing so, telling her to hole up there and starve to death. What changed the shopkeeper's attitude? Kang leaves the store. A difference in our methods. Lee Taeyuiyoncouldn't kill the big rat and ran away, but didn't run. Killed it and came back. Did this difference change his attitude towards me? Kang went off with a new shield to kill more rats. Rat is immobilized. It will take increased damage. 4 damage, 5 damage. You have achieved victory over the big rat. There's a bunch of questions that I can't answer at the moment. Your interception increase skill is activated. Like this skill, your agility is permanently increased by 1. Back when I first succeeded in killing a big rat, why are there so many status screens from killing one random mob? Aside from my basic skills, I even have skills that I earned on floors 20 and 40 in easy mode. I didn't think I'd get these on the ist floor of solo mode. Unequal S. This is Soul skill, interception increase proficiency 100%. Soul has experienced higher plane GIF existence. Every time your higher dimension soul wins, it will steal the opponent's power. Kang recalls a battle with 2 monsters in a ruined city. You are in a state of complete concentration. Your body and mind are one. A miraculous power has been imprinted onto your soul. You have obtained the soul skill. As you have escaped the labyrinth, you were unable to obtain the skill. Has been sealed. Back when I fought that S rank, a system window opened up after I whittled down that 2 million HP. I didn't get to check it properly because I was too tired. Did that sealed skill get freed because I returned to the labyrinth? A skill that I keep even when time is turned back. I kept going forward because this was a question I couldn't answer at that moment. It's the same thing here. I need to head towards my goal. To become stronger than anyone. Khan walks on through the maze. The Spring of Life must have gone right through your roof. They sure have made this way uselessly long. A big rat appeared. Another big rat. I guess meeting a monster in a hallway is pretty typical. But suddenly a few more rats appear. You are in a difficult situation right now. I am obsessed. You are in a difficult situation. Only 3 of them could surround a large human. Even with the small brains of a big rat, they can figure out that they have the advantage. Anyway, running confused cheek. Fear check. All checks passed. You checked in with a trick. Kang waves his shield. I can't ever falter. I've seen too many players pie after hesitating because of the situation. You have obtained an unshakable mind. All stats have increased. Kang nails one of the rats to the wall with his shield. With the level up and successful checks, my stats have increased, and with these, I can react and catch them with ease. You have succeeded in fighting against 2 big rats. Level up. Last one left. Big rat is intimidated by you. Big rat's judgment dulls. Come. The rat jumps at him. He swings and nails it to the ground with his shield. Thank you for approaching so obviously. Kang walks out of the dark corridor into a well-lit space with grass and trees, with a small lake in the middle. This is the resting area of the labyrinth. Your enemies cannot willingly enter here, and the place's peacefulness makes you lazy. Discovered the Spring of Life for the first time. First discovery bonus. Intelligence has permanently increased by 1. Mana has permanently increased by 2. Most areas of THC Labyrinth contain monsters. THC exceptions are the shop and this type of safe zone. Kang walks up to the lake, scoops it up with his hands and drinks it. Golden rays appear around him. You have recovered to your best condition. It's refreshing. My fatigue fades as if I slept. But my mental fatigue will continue to increase, so I should probably take a rest here. The next day. Did a day pass at this point? There should be something up on the community board right about now. Kang fellas, about this labyrinth. Am I supposed to enter it? Najeyo and Saloy, seeing how there's no response from the people who entered, you probably should. I quote em go insane. Kang Dinjun, anyone clear floor with me? Kang Dinjun, looking for information. Does anyone know what the first monster is? Lee sang, this maddening. As what? Most of the messages are by solo players. People in the other modes can meet and talk to each other, but solo players can only communicate through the community. One message catches his eye. Lee Tion, guys, how am I supposed to do this? For the ever-confident STRO and Jess player Lee Tion to have been confused at the, well, it might not be like that. Thinking about the window I saw back then, she might have been a G-caredy cat who hid her true self until the end. It's only been a day since the labyrinth opened. Solo players will start to properly enter once a month has passed, so there should be plenty alive right now. Solo mode's reward are definitely matched to the difficulty. Although missed out on many rewards, after quickly defeating the boss, Lee Taeyo and was able to become the RONGEST player. All the other players suddenly saw the message on the board. TAESAN, solo mode floor 1 basic clear method. What will happen? As I thought, it might be fickle to trust a baseless article and enter the labyrinth. Even if they believe it, I don't know how they will react. Among the 10,000 people who entered solo mode, the only Oni to survive was ETAEYEON. Alright, then I should start as well. Big rat MEATQUALITY, 86% who can eat it if you must. So can I eat it or not? WLL thinking about the goal, this could be better. Kang puts a piece of meat in his mouth. You have eaten uncooked raw meat. His face contorted. Running status condition check. Check failed. You have food poisoning. Kang is squirming on all fours. Status condition, food poisoning. It quickly grows your health for 2 days, and unless you continue to eat cure potion or health potion, you will die. A nightmarish status condition for beginners. That's why people who've suffered rough it once told everyone to cook before eating. You have recovered to your best condition, but it's difficult to acquire food in the labyrinth. Kang continues to eat raw meat. You have eaten raw meat. There's emergency rations at the shop, but they're super expensive and lacking in quantity. Check cleared. Nothing happened, so you'll eventually have to eat the creatures in the labyrinth. Check failed. You have food poisoning. Just as space is restricted, there are times where you can't help but need to eat raw meat. And if you get food poisoning in those situations, it's the worst. Kang washes the meat down with water from the stream. You have recovered to your best condition. I'm starting to get full. You have suffered through so many diseases that a resistance has formed. You have obtained the continuous conditional activation skill. Bingo. But that changes if you have this disease resistance skill. Continuous conditional activation skill, disease resistance. Proficiency 1%. Resist all sorts of diseases. Currently, you can usually resist diseases brought on from consumption. As I raise my proficiency, it's fine if it's only used as a skill to become immune to food poisoning. Although it's a skill that you can barely obtain after contracting all sorts of diseases. Then, should OBTINTE next skill. Khan goes waist deep in the water. Aw, I don't like that very much. Dives into the water. You can't breathe right now. It hurts. But I have to endure it. I think I heard someone say that drowning is one of the most painful ways to die. Khan climbs out of the water. You don't breathe until you die. You have received the conditioned activation skill. You have felt the touch of death. You received the conditional activation skill. It better work. Conditional activation skill, unbreath. LISAGE mains 1. Proficiency 1. Can hold his breath for a certain amount of time. Today this time is about twice the normal time, a skill that increases the amount of time I can hold my breath. It will be very useful in places where the air itself is poisonous. Because you have to be underwater at the point of death, not many people have it. But with it you can get the death line skill, so it's not too bad. Khan looks at the dialog box. Why is my proficiency in this already at 54%? Continuous conditional activation skill, line of death. Proficiency 54%. You can detect when you are close to death. Activates in most dangerous situations. If it's at 54%, then it's the same as the me from the future. Can I inherit something like yes? Maybe because this is a SKLT wide not to my body, but to my mind. But if that were the case, my calm mind and detection wouldn't be at 1%. I don't know. Unexplainable events happen frequently inside the labyrinth. I can't afford to scrutinize each and every one of them. Kang materializes a sword in the air. Because there are more skills I can make. I can't stop now. There is a dialogue on the board. Kang Junhyuk asks, is this actually the correct method? Kang Taesan answers, high risk, high return. Haven't you heard of that before? If the difference is too great, you can't gain them, so now is the best time, I think. Kang Junhyuk writes, no, that's not the issue right now. I'm really sorry, Hyun. I just can't do this. Do as you wish. I'm not the one losing out. No, even if that's the case. How am I supposed to do this? Said one of the players clutching his head near the lake. Lee Taejeon answers him on the board, Joonhyuk, you're not the weird one, besides that weirdo. No one else was able to get one. Meanwhile, Kang Taesan is practicing on the recreation area near the lake. You have activated Unbreath. Combinations are a big part of skills. For example, if certain skills and situations coincide, a new skill can be gained. He throws a couple of punches in the air. Being able to endure for twice as long while in the unbreathing state is obviously limited to when you're completely still. Hit one more time and then starts breathing. Have attacked many TIMEs while in an unbreathing state. You earned the SBECIAL active skill. You have earned more than 10 SKILLs and are in a state where you can boldly say you earned SKILLs. You earned the title. Not bad. Like how I could read the movements of the big rat, I can also see the set tempo of humans before they move. The unbreathing attack is a skill that will let me freely change that tempo. It was a great skill I used well while getting through the labyrinth. Status window. Did Lee Tion say that when she passed the first floor, her agility was 13? Right now I quote him at 21. I'm definitely much faster. Then, I can slowly start creating my main skills. Kang Taesan leaves the rest room and walks on through the labyrinth. Main skills were usually worth more than 10 basic skills, or were able to overcome a large difference in stats. For example, addition or multiplication, or absolute judgment, which could discern H-item elements, attack nullification, which eliminated the result of an attack, or time stop, which stopped the time within the vicinity. They were all main skills, and having just one would give you an overwhelming advantage over players of the same level. Maybe because of that, the methods to earn them were peculiar. For example, complete surveillance could barely be obtained only after evolving the detection skill 2 or 3 times. But what if there were a main skill that could be gained on the 1st floor, and it would become even more difficult to earn later on? Kang notices something off to the side. Big rat appeared. Obviously, I must obtain it then. The rat bites him on the leg. 4 damage to you. 3 damage to you. 4 damage. With vigor, thinking I can't respond its attacks. Kang stands silently enduring the bites and looks at the status window. I need to get hit a couple more times. 4 damage to you. 4 damage to you. 4 damage to you. 4 damage to you. You are on the brink of death. A little bit more. 4 damage to you. You are in danger of dying. Kang hits a rat with his shield and it bounces back. Line of Death's proficiency rose by 3%. Calm Mind's proficiency rose by 2%. You are in danger of dying. The rat's head hits the shield. You completely block the opponent's attack. You earn the special active skill. It's a good skill thought to nullify attacks dealing less than a certain amount of damage, but it wasn't the skill I was hoping for. You are in danger of dying. The rat knocks on the shield once more. Kang remembers that he once had the endurability. It nullifies damage that would result in death just once, and all damage taken afterwards for a set period of time. Nobody obtained that skill before besides me. Kang Taesan recalls a dialogue with his old friends. Wow, Hyung. How in the world did you learn Endure? I quote am also curious. Why are you the only one to get such cheat skills? Hyung. That. The ways of learning skills within the labyrinth are simple and already set. You can receive the skill from someone else, or if you achieve something others could not, you are awarded a matching skill. And finally, you can try to reproduce a similar effect to the skill. I obtained Unbreath by holding my breath, and because I swung my blade while in that state, I earned an unbreathing attack. Then what if I wish to earn Endure, which nullifies an attack that would lead to death? You are in danger of dying. It's simple. I just need to continuously block attacks that would have led to my death. The rat hits the shield. You have blocked multiple attacks that could have led to your death. You have earned the continuous conditional activation skill. Kang kills the rat. It's a skill that can save your life. So would it be a waste not to go for it just because you're scared? Kang recalls the words of his friends. As expected, Teeson is a crazy bastard. Hyung. No matter what. At one point, the people who heard this would respond in this way, but this is the labyrinth. If you don't risk your life, you won't gain anything. Kang returns to the rest room and drinks water from the lake. Great. Thanks to that, I also raised my proficiency in Line of Death and Calm Mind a lot. Was there another skill I should learn? He looks at the dialogue boxes. I feel like there should be a couple, but I had over 200 skills, so. Suddenly a sound is heard from outside. A man in armor with long gray hair appears. So there was a prior visitor. You encountered a person searching for God. A great response. Monsters cannot enter the spring of life. That means, an NPC. I heard that most of the solo mode NPCs are psychopaths. Are you an adventurer? The gray-haired man asks him. Adventurer. We refer to those who toil to conquer the labyrinth as such. Are you one? That is correct. Kang recalls the words of Li Taeyeon. When I was resting at the spring of life on the east floor, some night grandpa appeared. He was someone that served some god or something. What came next again? I need to remember it quickly. Kang panics, and at that moment, unbeknownst to him, the gray-haired man's fist is almost near his face. TENTRU and block this. EINZHAL activated non-lethal attack. EINZHAL's attack. Your line of death has activated. I quote am going TODIE. Kang raises his shield and blocks the blow. What a heavy blow. He then twists his shield slightly and changes the trajectory of the blow to the side. You have clashed against incredible power. Strength has permanently increased by 1. You have deflected incredible power. You have obtained the conditional activation skill. Then how about this? The man's fist flies straight into Kang's face. I can't dodge this. Forget technique. The difference in strength is too large. Impact. Kang flies into the wall. Amazing. I thought I'd do 100,000 damage at the least, but it only dealt 30,000. 35,211 damage. Non-lethal attack is activated. Damage has been nullified. Kang's shield has a huge dent in it. He destroyed the labyrinth wall with one strike. The hell, the gatekeeper was strong, too. Solo mode is populated with nothing but monsters. A gray-haired man approaches Kang. That aside, I was surprised, managing to block that attack with the shield in that split second, of course, but you then immediately let it go in order to mitigate the damage. ICOUL ain't just stand there and take it. True. IWAS ain't planning on killing you from the start. That's what the non-lethal attack was about. The man holds out his hand. And even if I attacked you lethally, you have endured. So I thought this wouldn't be a problem. You saw that. Fighting tooth and nail to live while on the brink of death. I was quite impressed. Your skills are outstanding, as well. To think you'd deflect my attack with those paltry stats of yours. I know these NPCs are supposed to have their own consciousness, but he knows about skills. Not even Li Teo knew about this. To be honest, I was worried you'd be a feeble one, but I see that was for nothing. You pass with full marks. What is your name, adventurer? It's Kang Taesam. Taesam. What a joyous encounter. Blessed be this miracle. I am the one who seeks a god. Call me Yinzhal. The gray-haired man smiled. Li Taeyeon looks at his reflection in the lake in the common room. Those damn rats are so persistent. Still, I should be fine now that I've reached this place. A gray-haired man appears behind her. She turns around in surprise. Her fist stops in front of her face. So you're a feeble coward. Li Teon told me that the knight gave her a look of contempt and left. After that, she never saw him again. But this, EINZHAL shakes Kang's hand laughing loudly. May I ask you something? Go ahead. Why do you attack people so suddenly? Is it to harass those who are weak? That is not the reason why. I'm Paladin, you know. Why would I oppress the weak? I simply do this to evaluate those who visit this place. Evaluate whether they have what it takes to survive here and whether they're worth my acknowledgement. There is no person more annoying out there than one with no understanding of themselves. In that sense, you've passed. Incredible. I'm alright. Pose clear things up. He evaluates people based on their sense of worth. At the very least, he'll have no reason to be MUENEMU. You said your name was Angel. Yes, my glorious father gave it to me. You said you were looking for a god, right? May I ask which one you are seeking? G. There are many gods in the labyrinth. Varied as they are, they test players and give rewards. But most players didn't care all that much about them, because they only existed in solo mode. Thanks to Li Teon frequently telling me about how awful and disgusting the gods were, I learned a lot of information about them. Of course, the more people who know about her, the better. The god I serve is the loving goddess, Levinoph. We all worshipped her. We shouted her name from the dawn of the day to the dusk of the evening. She is a wonderful goddess who connected with those who loved her. There was no goddess in our world more beloved than she. Unfortunately, my world was destroyed, so I am the only one who remembers her. Did you enter this labyrinth in order to find her? Precisely, but I haven't seen even a glimpse of her. Levinoph. I know that god. And thanks to Li Teon, I know which floor she's on, as well. The problem is, she told me that the goddess had already been cruelly torn to shreds by the time she found her. Li Teon, I think I'm gonna throw up. If it was so disgusting that even Li Teon, who faced and overcame countless hardships, said some thing like that, Should I tell him the truth? Right? TASAM. Can I ask you something? What is it? Are you, perchance, in any sort of hurry to escape the labyrinth? No, I'm not. My goal isn't to clear the labyrinth, but to become stronger by exploring it and obtaining all of the rewards. Isn't that swell? Any thoughts about learning Levinov's skills from me? Yeah, I quote D like to. Not an ounce of hesitation. I thought you'd at least think about it. I have no reason to refuse. An NPC within the labyrinth who's so strong that I can't even begin to imagine where he got this much power. YSHOULD and I accept his offer to give me skills. What do you want in return? Nothing, of course. Consider this an apology. An apology for attacking you all of a sudden. Even if it was for a test, I enacted violence upon you, whom I had never met before. It's an act for which I must repent wholeheartedly as a paladin. WOULD and it'd have been better if you just didn't attack me in the first place. No, that's a different story. The reason I'm offering you an apology is because you're someone worth apologizing to. If you WEREN't, I would have simply spit at you and left. Weirdo. An apology using only words is WORTHLES's. And, as you're an adventurer, I figured you would want to obtain precious skills. That is why I chose to do this. Is that alright with you? More than alright. It's so much easier to learn a skill from a non-lethal attack than by putting my life on the line. After all, what a relief. I almost besmirched the gods with my actions there. Good. No need to delay, let's begin. First, try to hit me with that feeble shield of yours.